All right, so our next guest is another local actor, having worked on many local stages and is a recent Henry Award winner for his role of Judas in Jesus Christ Superstar at the Arvada Center. So please welcome the roommate of Marcus, Matt LaFontaine.
Tell me what's a-happening, what's a buzz? Tell me what's a-happening, what's a buzz? Tell me what's a-happening, what's a buzz?
Well, I had to introduce you as the roommate.
I caught that, yeah.
Exactly. Well, I mean, you're so much more. The roommate. You're just the roommate. But I was commenting, like, you guys had this matching thing going on, and it was not planned at all.
No, not even, no.
Just after so many years of being around each other.
Kind of how we dress.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is nothing special at all,
This is
really.
just the general thing. So first off, congratulations.
Thank you.
What was that feeling like winning that Henry Award for Judas?
It was surreal. It was so cool. It was so cool. It was my 5th time being nominated.
Yeah.
And I always thought it would be cool, but it's so much cooler than that. Because I've had other friends that have won them before that were like, oh, it's all right.
Yeah.
It's this mask type thing. And yes, indeed it is. But it's so cool.
Yep.
The whole experience was crazy. So it was kind of like, it was my best story I've had in my career, hands down.
Yeah.
And then kind of a little exclamation point at
Yeah,
the end.
exactly. Tell that story a little bit, because it's not the typical story, I would say.
All right, so I got cast in Jesus Christ Superstar at the Arvada Center playing Simon, who has a great song, great role. He's a disciple, but, he gets put in a couple other things, which is how I kind of felt like, disciple plus. But funny story, it's also the only show, it's my 30th show at the Arvada Center.
Okay. Wow.
And it's also the only show besides the children's theater that I have never been an understudy for.
Okay.
Which I said that probably one too many times out loud. And so people going, watch out. And I'm going, watch out, nothing. I'm not an understudy, but ciao. And
then you were no longer an understudy.
Right. Well, so then we get to week 3. And the Saturday of week 3, we had Dan Langhoff, who was Judas's understudy.
Yep.
He had to drop out of his own
He was Judas.
account. He was
You
Judas's
were the
understudy. No.
Oh, okay.
Again,
I was wrong.
I was nobody's understudy. It was fantastic. So we get to rehearsal on a Saturday, and he goes, so I'm going through some stuff. I've taken myself out. This is fine. He's fine. It was great, whatever.
Yeah.
And then we had, 11 disciples for a hot minute. And then Sunday, we had our first volunteer preview. And in the middle of the volunteer preview, our director, Rod Lansbury, came up to me and said, I'd like you to be the Judas cover. And I went, okay, sure. We had the day off, it was fine, but on the Sunday night, Napoleon Douglas, who was playing Judas, he oversang a little bit too hard. I think it was first time in audience and nerves and something, and we didn't know, we just heard it backstage, we were like, ooh, that hurts.
Yeah.
Well, Napoleon also has a voice where it always sounds like he's over-singing.
Well, and then I wouldn't say over singing, just very rock.
A gruff
like
voice.
hard rock.
exactly.
/ Judas sings up in the rafters,
Right.
and Napoleon talks like this. And it was funny, and he was a fantastic Judas. He just he oversang it.
Yeah.
So we get day off Monday, hip hip hooray, and I didn't go over anything because I was like, I've got all next week / he's fine, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And stage manager calls me around 9:30 in the morning on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Wakes me up and tells me, hi, don't freak out. I know you're going to freak out, but don't freak out. We're going to use today's rehearsal as a put-in for you. Napoleon is at the Voice Doctor right now. He is doing the preview tonight.
Okay.
Like, he is going on tonight, but for 4 hours, you've never gotten to do this. So we're just going to go, well, okay, we'll plug you in. It'll all be great. So I was like, cool. And she was like, okay, get to the theater by noon. You're going to work with David Nell's music director for an hour, and then we'll tell the cast, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Cool. I tell him, he's like, okay, well, I was like, we need to get there a little bit early. Do you mind? I get dropped off, and Rod's outside, very nervous. And I walk up, and I was like, psh, we're fine. We've got this. I know how to understudy. Like, no worries. And he just goes, didn't even look at me. Just goes, Napoleon is no longer part of our show, and you will be playing Judas. And I went, but he, not tonight. And he goes, yeah. And I went, well, then why am I talking to you? And I ran inside, made one phone call, literally ripped off my clothes to put on rehearsal stuff, and ran into meet David Nell's, where it was just like, oh, rehearsal.
Here we go.
I'm doing this in front of people, like actual people. And then that night, we left for dinner at 5. And he ran the lyrics with me because it's one thing to learn something really fast. It's quite another thing to add all the nerves in the land.
Yeah.
And it's one of my dream roles that I spent 3 weeks just being like, I'm not like,
Yeah.
I'm not playing it this time. So if he's doing Judas's death, I don't need to watch it because I have nothing to do with it. I need to go over my own stuff.
Yeah.
So I had, it wasn't in here yet.
Yep.
Add nerves, it certainly wasn't in here yet. And then at 6:30, I went to Rod and I went, yeah, I'm going to use my script. And he goes, that's fine. And I said, only because I know where it is in the script.
Right.
And in my memory, like, I see 3 lines. I know that line, I know that line, I know I don't know that line. So all I
Okay.
need to do is go, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, boom, boom. And that's what I did.
Cool.
And then came in the next day and actually got directed instead of, like, good, you got through it. Okay, let's talk some moments and, acting.
Yeah.
And that was the story.
And
And,
then
so
the
then to
next
win
night-
a Henry Award,
Yeah.
are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I kept telling him I felt terrible during that time because, and I helped him out at that dinner break because what do you do? He's going on, But I felt so terrible because it's a rock album, and I had
Right.
it memorized from the time I was like 16. So I knew his part already.
So you
and
could have just done
coulda-
Judas in the
that's
Oh,
what I
he's
said.
holding my script,
I
and I'm
couldn't,
going,
like,
can we go over
put it
this?
in there,
Yeah,
you
he's
know?
holding my script, and he just puts it down, and I was just like, oh, because you know this. Well,
I
congratulations.
felt terrible.
No, it was very sweet of you to help. But
And then you win the Henry Award for it, and
yeah, then that was, yes.
I can only imagine it's like a whirlwind, the whole entire thing, and just one thing after the other.
Well, I wasn't supposed to win. I wasn't supposed to play Judas. Like, it was not in the cards. Like, I'm glad I got to, and I'm glad I was there. But like, that's why it's such a cool story. But I don't deserve it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the little green guy, and I'm very, very grateful.
And I've
but,
noticed
whew,
is your dog loving the green guy as well.
the fuzziest in the land. Yes, yes.
Yes.
Whom I did thank in my speech.
Yeah. We keep it up high. The award is up high. He
Okay.
doesn't get to touch it.
Oh no,
all the
Harold.
time.
Harold. He's 11 months old now, and he is still at that phase. What's that? Can it go in my mouth?
Yeah.
And I don't need that to the Henry Award.
Yeah, not for the Henry Award.
No.
Yeah.
And understand, it was like your 5th time being nominated.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
my 5th.
So like, after a while, it's like, well, I'm here again.
Well, and that's the funny thing, because Jenna Bainbridge, who was our Mary, we went together our
Yep.
date, and I kind of was like, you know what? I think it's both of us or none of us. And her award was first. And she didn't win, and it kind of took the pressure off, because I was like, okay, cool. Then this is no longer
You don't have
mine.
to worry about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Slash, I showed up not thinking I was going to win, where I made the bad mistake 3 or 4 years ago when I got nominated for Hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I showed up kind of going, this is my 4th time. Like, just
I
gi-
got this.
let me stop wanting it. Just
Yeah.
give me one and I'll never want one again. I don't even need to be nominated again. I just want one.
Are you just going to retire now? You're not doing anything anymore.
No, I mean, no. Certainly not retiring. I'm busy all the time, which is a wonderful gift
Yeah,
and treat.
Exactly.
But,
And the last thing I want to talk about, because they're telling me to wrap this up,
Aha.
is the driving up to Candlelight. We were just joking about that. You're there now, Slipper in the Rose. And I was told, Marcus, you've done all the driving.
For the longest time, well, yeah, my mom bought me a Prius. Well, I should say my parents bought me a Prius because of the mileage.
Yeah.
And I was driving her old car, which was a Toyota. It was a gas guzzler. So I had the Prius and he had the Toyota Scion. So
Yeah.
it was like, well, which car are we going to take? We'll take mine.
Yeah.
And so, I did all the driving. And now, for Slipper in the Rose, he has to do it by himself.
So the tables have turned a little bit.
Well, now he understands why I would yell so loudly in the car in Thornton, Colorado.
Yeah.
Once traffic came to a complete and utter stop.
oh, yeah. Now it's Longmont.
Yeah.
Both,
Just
right?
stop. Yeah, well, I mean, we live 54 miles away, so it's our own fault for saying, hi, Candlelight, hire me. So, you can't get upset.
Right.
But
We were fortunate enough
Drivers
during
of
that period of
25.
time that the express toll lane was
Free.
Free.
It was in testing.
It's
yeah.
the
And
option,
then
yep.
all of a sudden, when it wasn't, that's when I became a raving lunatic, yelling at people because I couldn't be like, "Ha-ha! Express lane's free."
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the problem.
Well, perfect. Thank you guys so much for coming on.
Of course.
And when we come back.